Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm all dizzy.
Why? What have you been doing?
I was banging to the adverts.
Well, that's a bit daft.
Hi, I'm the Fury. Daft is my middle name. Andy the Fury Daft Aber. It's on my birth certificate and everything.
Uh-huh.
Right, should we tell them what we're doing then this week?
Yes, I think we should. We've got a lot to cover tonight.
We've always got a lot to cover.
We always have a lot to cover, but we've actually got a lot to cover tonight. And we have another guest with us tonight, don't we?
Well, yeah, it's the Dan Dylan. That's your cue, mate.
Hello.
Hey!
Hi, Danny, mate. How you doing, man?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Well, I say very well. Ebola light coming down.
Ebola.
There you go. Yeah, Ebola.
Nasty, that is.
It's horrible. Anyway, enough of that. You got to go to work, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of this month, which is April 2015. He's Danny. He's Davey. I'm the Fury. And you want to say something? What? I was on a roll. You always do this.
You always mess up the intro, man.
I know that's.
I had the whole thing planned, and you just
Okay, go.
ruined it. Right now, we'll just run the titles. Just
Fine.
run the titles.
OBT. Whatever.
No. Should I get the magic sponge? That's a keeper. Right, again. Oh man. Empty. And that's a wrap.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, welcome to the start of the show proper. Of course, tonight is Wednesday. We're replacing Matt because Davey's worse and is dying of man flu.
No, not man flu, man. It's Ebola light. Come on. Everyone on the team has had it, and you know how bad it is.
To be fair, he's right. It is Ebola light, but anyway, there's no excuse for not doing a show. Right, shut your face, suck it up. Big girl panties on, David.
I can't even respond to that, man.
I win.
My brain isn't working. Damn it, you've won. You've won one. Okay, it's about 20-1. Okay.
Hey, Davey, you lost the game.
Anyway,
Right,
we have a lot to cover tonight.
Indeed, serious space.
There has been a lot going on in the news. We've seen quite a few things going on. I think we all agree that Monday's show, when The Cave went out, was fantastic. That was an absolutely brilliant show. Great news coming out of that. But we want to build on this and we want to move things forward. And that's kind of how we're building our show tonight.
Are we? I just thought we did a show. Or doing a show.
Well, we are doing a show.
I
building on that. Because that's what we need to do. We need to get everyone together.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Which is what part 3 is kind of all about anyway, but we'll get to that when we come to it. So, first things first, let's have a little chat about the Daily Mail. Now, last week they punched out back-to-back in terms of days. The 15th, let me just check the dates.
Yeah, 15th and 16th.
15th and 16th, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the Daily Mail article that I was looking at. Apparently this is a bride-to-be who spent thousands on the Turkish toy boy, lost weight after some crazy new trick.
Right, you are reading some weird stuff. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully... No, it's done it on both of them. Okay, right. Well, the first article was about teenagers not becoming addicted to e-cigarettes, which is kind of weird because apparently we've all got to think of the children.
Yeah. Many teenagers try e-cigarettes, but few become regular users, study finds. And this is from Cardiff University. Few teenagers become regular users. Most teens who try them are already smokers, and they're not using electronic devices to help quit their habit. Now, we're not going to go into detail on the studies that have been done.
Well, if truth be told, we're not looking at the study, we're looking at the paper.
Yes. It's not just the paper in itself, it's the actual media coverage that we're getting, because the following article, which came out the following day, said e-cigarettes make quitting smoking harder, study claims.
No,
and smokers using e-cigarettes are 49% less likely to decrease cigarette use.
My favourite comment out of that one was a little further down, I think, which was saying that basically we're all still smoking, or dual fueling, as it were, all of us. Oh God, where's it gone? I do love the writing in this as well. Apparently, the drug watch drug is, here we go, Professor. This is what, and it just seems to me, one day it's, I mean, let's face it, the outcome of the teenager article was pretty fairly positive, because it was saying literally what we've been saying.
Yeah.
E-cigarettes are not attractive to children. There is no gateway effect, or the teenagers that are trying e-cigarettes are existing smokers, and so they've had exactly the same idea as we've had. Oh, this looks like a fun idea. Let's give it a whiz. Oh, bloody hell, it works. And then the next day, it's a complete contradiction in terms. Because apparently we're all still smoking, and we're all dirty, horrible people, and e-cigarettes are Satan's farts.
Well, this is the point we're trying to make here, is with the national media and local media. It's, what are they trying to do here? I mean, they're obviously trying to show both points of view. Okay, so they're showing the positive side in some ways, but they're mainly showing the negative side.
Well, even with that first headline, many teenagers try e-cigarettes. You're all evil.
But that's just a headline to get people interested and start reading that. But what should we be doing as vapers to get the positive news ahead of the negative news?
Sorry, I've got.
That's what we need to be looking at, because we've got. If you look at these studies, they are very interesting and they go into great depth, and they're really, really good. But the media side of things, we can't just be, as vapers, clicking on the button and saying, right, here you go, press that and vote yes, vote no.
Well, we've said it before, haven't we, Davey? We, as in you, me, Danny, Saf, Darren, Big D, who's obviously he's been in contact with the press quite a lot, and every single one of you, you chat, you there, Keith, Lau, Whip It Up, Disco, Dares, and other people that I'm struggling to remember from chat because I haven't got the chat on the screen. Perhaps it's time to bring that human interest story, which we've been harping on about for a while. Let's bring our guest in on this. Danny.
Yeah, I was going to say, Danny, what do you have to say about this? I mean, have you been doing something about this? Have you been contacting your local MPs and media?
I've contacted all my local MPs, and they all seem to support vaping, but they don't know how to support vaping. And that's the point I've come across. They don't know what to do about it. They see it as a benefit, but they see it, I suppose, as something else, and I'm not sure what that something else is. So it's trying to help them come up with something how they can help, and that sort of thing is what I've found difficult.
Perhaps then, in terms of MPs, we should bring to light, of course, legal challenge from Totally Wicked.
Yes, legal
Yeah.
challenge, yes.
Here we go, Mr. MP or Mrs. MP, or MEP, which is probably the ones we should be talking to. Hell, talk to them all. Right to the foofy at the head of Prime Minister man, I forget his name.
That'll go down well. Hello, Foofy.
Dear Mr. Foofy Prime Minister, save our e-cig, signed everybody.
Yes.
Who actually votes for you. Just saying. But yeah, perhaps things like that, you know, put them onto Viru, put them onto Asita, put them onto Move, put them onto EFEI, put them onto the good doctor, Clive Bates, Professor Robert West, Bern Mayer, all these guys who know what they're bloody talking about.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, we've got all these people, the names you just mentioned there, who are doing the studies, who know what they're talking about. They've been around for a while. Like you said, Clive Bates, former director of ASH. You've got the good Dr. Farsalinos. All these people who are doing research and are actively involved in this. And they are pushing forward and saying e-cigarettes are good things. And yet you've then got people who don't know what they're talking about, who haven't got any experience in it. I'm not mentioning names of those people because that would be a bad thing to do. But you've got those people who are twisting things and turning things and saying that we are being funded by tobacco companies and we are being funded by farm.
We're being funded by the big vapor.
Big vape. Yeah, big vape.
Big
That's
vapors.
the one.
Oh,
Big vapor. No. Because something Mr. David Dawn dropped into our personal chat the other day. I don't know how far I can go into it, but apparently we're venerating certain people, which in a way I suppose we are. But the word venerated was a link which directly linked back to us here on our home website. Now that was interesting because clearly these people are watching us, and we know that now. So I think the more we, with likes of Viri, Asita, Move, EFEI, the more we do to let everybody know these guys are watching us. End of conversation. They are, right?
Well, yeah, they're watching us, but what we need to make clear is that we are not being funded by anyone.
I ain't being funded by nobody.
Yeah, we do all this by ourselves. All the equipment, everything that's, you know, running, all the shows that go on. No, we've paid for this. It's not been big vendors or tobacco companies or whatever who have paid for it. It's us. I've got my studio lights up here. I haven't got a big camera. I've got a webcam, but because I can't afford a big camera, but I still managed to put out a show. But it's our money that is going towards all this stuff. It's our money that's going towards all the research. It's not being done by all the big companies.
Oh,
and
exactly.
so if these people are watching this, they need to understand that.
Well,
we do this
exactly.
because of our enthusiasm for it, because we prefer vaping rather than using lit tobacco.
We have invested ourselves as human beings into this cause. Well, let's forget about money. Money is not the question here. The question is, right now, how we are being perceived, especially by the media. In this particular case, we're using the Daily Mail's somewhat contradictory articles as a bit of a jumping, a springboard, if you will. We are perceived as being, well, not perceived, is such a word, propagandized? If you follow my meaning?
Yes.
You know, the propaganda is, we are funded by big vaping. It's like, you know, we've got a 200-year history like Marlboro or something, you know, and millions of billions of billions of billions of quiddles just floating around, and we can just go, oh yeah, I need a new 2K Blackmagic camera. I'll have one of them. Oh, do you know what? I'll have two. No, it ain't that case. We've invested ourselves. This is not funded by anything. This is not a case of funding by anybody. It is human investment, and this is the side the press needs to see.
Exactly. It's our enthusiasm for it, if you will. For example, when I started, I got into the whole shiny-itis thing. I started buying this and that and everything. It was like, oh, I need
we've
that.
all done that.
Yeah, we've all been there and done that. And we still do it.
I mean, look at Danny with his absolutely brand spanking steampunk mod that he put up on Facebook the other day.
Yes, I do love it.
Yeah, shut up, man. But the point is, we do this because we are enthusiastic about it. We believe in the products that are out there now.
We share a passion. All of us share a passion.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Exactly.
that passion can be misconceived. People see it as something else. And I'm not sure why they do, and I'm not sure how they do, but sometimes our passion can just be seen wrong.
Sometimes people ask me why I do this. You know, why do I sit in front of a computer 3 nights a week for X amount of hours doing broadcasts? It's a vocation. I have found something that I can completely stand up behind and push forward. And we've said it before, we'll say it again, and I'm going to put a big, I'm going to get a pen. Look, there's a pen. I'm going to draw a big line underneath it, an imaginary line. We need to get the press corrected. Even if that means complaining to whatever complaints departments various papers have or whatever organisations there are, you know. I mean, let's take, for example, Katie Hopkins. Yesterday, I believe she was, over this whole Mediterranean crisis, arrested. The editor of the Sun newspaper arrested over her inflammatory remarks, which were racist. Let's face it, the woman's, whatever. Right? So she has been brought, kicked to touch over it. And the paper has as well, for publishing that sort of thing.
The point is, though, sorry to interrupt there, Andy, the point is that I think we have to put across our own personal point of view. We can't
this is exactly what I'm saying, Dave.
Yeah. We can't keep on doing click yes on this survey. Do you agree with e-cigarettes in public places? Click yes. Click no. We can't keep doing that. We've got to be getting in touch with these people. These people, in particular, let's take this Daily Mail article. The names of the journalists who've written them are at the top of the article.
Mm-hmm.
And the contact details are there. So contact them and say, what you've typed is rubbish. And tell them why. And tell them your point of view. And that's the way we need to be doing it. We can't keep on doing the whole mass influx.
The clickbait.
Yeah. We can't keep doing that. It's got to be your own personal point of view and why you disagree with what they say and why you think they should be looking at what we're doing.
Indeed, and this is why the press needs to be corrected. Because, quite frankly, we're being painted, and I'm sorry to say this, it's rather depressing for me to say this, but yes, chat, yes, VGTV, RY4, Saturday Night Shenanigans, and all the other social media that is related to vaping and our cause, we're being painted as idiots. Simple as that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we're as Danny said there, politicians are seeing this as something else, but they're not quite sure what. And I think that what is a bunch of sheep following a trend. We're not a trend. We are people who've made an adult conscious decision to change a habit which was positively fatal, which has been proved time beyond time, again and again and again, to something which is, to use a gun enthusiast's terminology, less than lethal.
Yeah, this is the point. We're going back now to what we were saying earlier, that we've got people who are doing the studies and who are proven experts in their field, who are saying
At
that
risk
using
their own,
e-cigarettes...
reputations as well, I might add.
Yes, they are risking their own reputations.
The good doctor said that on our very own show when we had him on.
Yeah, but they're doing this and they are showing that e-cigarettes are far less harmful than lit tobacco. And yet you've got people who know nothing about it who are saying, oh no, you've got to get rid of them because they're going to be attractive to kids.
Well, the Daily Mail proved that wrong, didn't they? Right, so now is a call
Danny?
to action. Danny.
Call to action. Okay, call to action.
On the spot, Sam.
Basically, the way I see it is the media are renowned flip-floppers. They are going to post whatever story they see fit. So, as Davey says, if you see a story that you don't agree with, contact them and tell them why you don't agree with that story. Also, if you see a positive story, share it. Push the positive stories so they outweigh the negative stories. That's how I've been going about stuff. That's how I've been doing it. A call to action would be, as always, contact your MPs, contact anyone who might have any sort of influence who you think might be able to help. It is a battle, but it's a battle that isn't lost yet, so just keep plying on, folks.
It's a battle we can win. On a plus note, well, not a plus note, but a funny note, on the bottom of the Many Teenagers Try E-Cigs advert article, there's a little video from our... Oh, God. From one of our politicians. E-cigarettes hailed as remarkable by smoker Nigel Farage. Apparently that's related to the teenager video. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of part one. Shall we have the adverts, please?
Hang on a sec. I want to go back into that. Because Nigel Farage, yeah, that's really related to a teenager story.
No.
But he makes a good point on that. You know, the whole e-cig debate and what we're trying to talk about with lit tobacco, and he's made the switch. And we've seen Nick Clegg. He's made the switch using a fruit flavour, which could be for kids. So there's all these kind of things that we could pull together. But then we're going into a whole political kind of stance, and we can't go down that route. But there's definitely stuff to discuss there. But I think that's for a different show. That's not for something that we cover here, is it? So I think there we should take the adverts.
Indeed.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Award-winning service and products from cloud9vaping.co.uk.
Vapors, Dripper just got 40% bigger. So if you love discovering new e-liquids, tell Dripper what flavours you like and we'll send you 70ml of juice and at least 5 flavours. With a money-back guarantee and free delivery anywhere in Europe, dripper.co.uk.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of VapeTrails.tv.
And we're back.
We're back. We are. Yes.
Indeed. Right, so first section was primary. Well, we introduced the first section with, many teenagers try e-cigarettes. And then I spot this today. This is fresh fish. Now, our dear friend of the show, Radio Man, spotted this and put it up in our little private chat thing that we have all the way from you bubbles. It can only be described as horrific. Now, if I just pop along to that particular page, tobacco-free California. Enough said. Popped up a video today. Unfortunately, we can't show it to you because we haven't been able to capture it to reproduce it, and we don't really want to play it through a Facebook page. We certainly don't want to give these arseholes any more screen time than they need. But basically, the hook is with colourful packaging and fruit candy flavours that kids love. Who do you think tobacco companies are targeting? This is a very irresponsible video. Now, one of the first things I spotted, being a man of a certain age and having my formative years of college and university in Brighton, I know a blunt wrap when I see one. And these kids are picking them up and getting all so excited about it. I've been looking through the comments today, and there's recognisable names. Paul Barnes, I know that guy. I carry on down a little further, and oh god, I think it might have been removed now by the looks of it. Actually, it was a very damning.
Yeah, but the point is, it's an absolutely ridiculous video, isn't it? And
here we are. Jerry Lozzo. I want to give this guy a little bit of credit. I think Tobacco-Free CA is the only people putting kids with e-cigs and cigarettes in commercials. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
Too right.
It is horrible what this is.
No, I think we've actually covered this before when we talked about the adverts with the people who are making the adverts, and they're putting the e-cigs in the hands of kids or within reach of kids and filming it. And it's in the same light as, people who are filming kids in poor areas carrying dirty water on their backs and not just giving them a bottle of water. It's that kind of thing. It's a media thing. It's propaganda again.
Well, it reminds me of we're back in the 30s and 40s, World War II propaganda. It is almost equivalent to Nazi propaganda. I'm sorry to say it.
Going a bit far.
It's my opinion. It is almost as bad as that. It is terrible. How dare these people? I understand the point. We're trying to get people off of the facts, all right? But all right, okay. Pre-show, I had my daughter here, sat on me lap whilst Nixie was preparing the food, but she's not here on the show. And I'm certainly not going to say, sweetie, prove it safe.
I have to disagree with you there, Andy, because it's not getting people off the facts. Because if people want to smoke, if people choose to smoke, they should have the right to smoke because they're there. They can buy cigarettes freely, whether they're behind a closed door, behind a shelf,
that detraction
whether they're in plain packaging. Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
These kids have been exposed to it, right? And they're going to go on and on and on about, we've got this new generation of people addicted to nicotine. You've bloody put it in front of them. You've made a film about it.
Exactly, and it's still there. It will still be there. Lit tobacco will still be freely available, but e-cigs will be regulated completely out of proportion. So this kind of thing, whatever you have in front of you is going to be gone. But lit tobacco, which is the dangerous one, which is the one they want to get rid of, will still be available. So where's the sense? Where's the common sense in that?
There's no sense in this. There is no sense in going, look at all these brightly coloured packagings and everything, and blah, 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 blah. Now, forgive me for saying this. Last time I bought an e-cigarette, last time I bought a dripper or a tank or whatever, it all came in a very black, very bland box.
Yep.
with maybe the brand of e-cigarette device on it. For example, when I got that, it said Zigelli on the front. When I got that, it said Doge on the front. When I got that, it said Stingray. You know, the brand. That's it. If you didn't know what it was, it's just a black box. So, let's bring this back to the actual point in question. Where is the responsibility for these people to expose these children? I mean, these kids can't be much older than my middle daughter, who's, what, 8? You know? Going, oh, this looks really nice, it smells so good. That's not right. It's not normal. You know, right, it's all well and good to say, let's get people off the facts. A very noble gesture, I understand. Cigarettes kill. Right, we know that. Converted preaching. How they say to us, we must think of the childrens. We must think of the childrens. We must not, you know, expose children to this sort of thing. What the hell is that? I ask you, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
That is exposing children to drug paraphernalia, no less, within case of the blunt wraps. So you tell me where the responsibility is, and you tell me what right does anybody in the world to expose children to that sort of thing just for a point to be made in propaganda.
I think what they've tried to do is, I think they've tried to be very extreme, and it is like enormously backfired on them. Enormously. I mean, the stuff that was on that table, I recognise some of it, obviously, because in the past I have done that sort of thing.
Man of history.
Man of history. But what they've done is that they've tried to show kids want this stuff. I think that's what they're saying. I think they've tried to go, look, kids want this stuff. But if you didn't present it on a table in front of them, they wouldn't have even noticed it.
With like fresh fruity flavours and all this sort of stuff and brightly
See,
coloured.
this also goes back to, I think it was on Hayes Hour last week when Dave Dawn did the video with the brightly coloured juice.
Oh god, the coloured e-liquid thing.
Yeah, that would appeal to kids. Now, I've got in here, it's a fairly clear juice. That's Skittles.
I beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen.
Your
excuse.
pardon is not begged.
Oh, shut up. I'm taking Danny's side on this one.
Right. That is fairly clear juice, but that is a fruity Skittles flavour. Okay?
The exact same juice here on the shelf.
Right.
This is clear as day. Ow.
Does that need to be coloured?
Nope.
Does that need to attract children to a colour? But at the same time, would colouring to a juice attract children to them? That I don't know whether it would or not.
In a perfect world, now I'm going back to the first vape fest I went to. A friend of the show, Jim Maitland, took me. He drove me down to the site and everything because I didn't have any transport, simply. And he brought me one of the first bottles of a particular line that he did with colouring in it. Now, this is just a personal thing. I'm an ex-fire breather. I've put things in my mouth and into my body that really should not be there. I.e.,
Yeah,
shut up, Davey. You dirty, dirty people. Right, but I used to put paraffin in my mouth on a regular basis for a show. Okay, this is not a healthy thing to do, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking about fire breathing, don't. It is the world's most dangerous fire act. You have to go through some serious training. But now, ironically, in that paraffin was a sweetener, because the manufacturer had heard that it was the brand of choice. But no other manufacturer does this. Now, Jim, at that particular time, was one of very few people who offered colouring to a juice, and then he went to It's Your Choice, and I don't know exactly what he's doing now, but as far as I'm aware, if you want the colouring, it's there, you can have it. But there comes a warning. With those particular colourings, you know, certain things, free radicals, if you will, may be introduced to the vape. As you say, is it something that's necessarily needed? Now, I've got a juice here. It's a bit off-coloured, but that's probably because of the flavouring more than the actual colouring added. This one, even though it's in a green bottle, completely clear. I've got any others to hand. Yep, I do. There we go. Here's another one. almost water in colour. It doesn't need to be there. And I do actually agree to a certain extent with plain packaging. You know, these companies have been around in some cases for hundreds of years, right? Well, maybe not hundreds of years, but at least decades. The brand's out there. And it brings us neatly around to the Paraguay incident where, is it Philip Morris are suing Paraguay because they're like, no, you can't have your stuff on there, we need to warn people about the dangers. Oh God, I digress so badly. I apologise for this, ladies and gentlemen. The main thing here is firecrackers. Right, fireworks have brightly coloured packaging. Kids are going to get hold of them. But firework safety never promotes it like that. This is uniquely anti-smoking, anti-vaping, and it needs to stop. It is unfair to the children in question to be exposed to such things, especially in the case of drug paraphernalia. I know those kids may not know left from right or Adam from Eve, right? But the point is, tobacco-free California. Let me just check it again.
Yeah.
Tobacco-free CA, yeah.
Tobacco-free CA Facebook page, right? The people in this video have exposed these kids to drug paraphernalia as well as tobacco products, and these are the people who want to stop kids picking it up. I'm sorry, but they've just shot themselves in the foot. I'm done with that one. Going back to
the coloured juice, a lot of the time coloured juice is part of the brand of the juice, you know. It's part of the actual heritage of the juice, because it might be representative of, say, a TV program or something like that. Is it needed? No, probably not. But then, at that same time, would that juice still be as popular if it didn't have that certain colouring?
Yeah, you've got a point there, Danny. But I mean, let's take for example Red Astaire from T-Juice, and I'm not just picking them out. It's just the first thing that came to my head. Red Astaire, red in colour, but it's obviously based on Fred Astaire. Did it need naming that way, or could they have just named it something different and had no colouring in it whatsoever?
I suppose this goes into marketing as well, you see. If it was just called something else, but it was that flavour and it wasn't red, would it have been anywhere near as popular as it was? Would it have had the hype surrounding it?
It probably wouldn't, but if it's a good juice and people like it, then word gets around and people start buying it, so therefore business builds.
Yes.
The likes of Grant's Vanilla Custard, it's a pretty generic custard now, still popular as far as I'm aware, but there's no colouring in it. It's just marketed as Grant's Vanilla Custard, GVC. The juice made its name. It didn't need colouring, it didn't need any wacky ploys, it was just a very good custard for its time.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I've got some samples. Andy, when you come over in a couple of weeks before Vape Jam, I've got some samples that we're going to try. And I've got Clear Astaire version 1 and Clear Astaire version 2. And these are from Siggy Juice. And so we're going to give these a go. But they're obviously playing on the name of the Red Astaire, but they've done their own version of it. Now, are they actually playing on the name of a popular juice? And this is where the whole IP thing is going to come in
the next
later on.
Yeah, no, I thought this was a very neat segue.
You see what I did there? Hey.
He's not just a hipster.
Hipster, stop with that. I nearly swore then. I nearly swore. No, but are they just playing on the name and using that for their own gain, or is it something where word will get around that it's a good juice and people will start reviewing it? Because I didn't pay for that. It was given to me just to review it. But I can compare it to the Red Astaire. So what do you guys think of that?
Well, it's certainly to a degree a form of plagiarism, but still, again, we're detracting from the point. You know, the point of this segment is those kids being exposed to tobacco products by an anti-tobacco
Yes.
body.
Yeah, it is that, but it's also the flavourings. And
That's the
are
topic
they
of the
attracted
video,
to
yes.
this? Yeah.
But to be fair, I'm vaping a blackjack flavour right now, which a lot of people may or may not have a problem with. But, you know, to me, it's a sweet that I actually like. Very few of them, but it's a sweet that I actually like, and it's a particularly good blackjack. But are my nippers going to want to try it? Abby, she's all like this. Go away with that. It's horrible. No matter what I vote. But then she's a smart kid. Annie, well, she's a year old. She doesn't know any different, really. My eldest, who's 16, couldn't give a flying hoo-ha. She's more into horses and motorbikes, which is kind of worrying. But, you know, that's that. Kids, if left to their own devices, find their own thing. They will rebel. They will experiment, like we all did.
Yeah.
But there's no need to deliberately expose them to the bright colours, the flavours, the smells. There is no need to deliberately do so. And that's the point that I'm trying to make here. This video is irresponsible. It's terribly irresponsible. And
It is,
frankly,
yeah.
I'd like to meet the person who made that video and punch him square in the face.
It's the
Not
same
that I'm
with
advocating
all-
such a thing, but
There's been a load of videos in the past, well, I say videos, TV adverts, where you've had a person who's smoking by an open door. So they're not
Oh,
quite
yeah, I
outside,
remember
they're not
these.
inside. Yeah. And it says that the smoke still goes inside and the kids will still get harm from the
you
smoke.
see the kid exhaling smoke.
Yeah.
I had the same reaction to that video. I mean, right, clearly that was a fake video. Right?
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
of course.
all the magic and gumph of ILM or whatever, right? But the point is, it's not something. Oh, I'm getting wound up now.
I get wound up about this kind of stuff all the time because it annoys the hell out of me. I mean,
Anyways,
you see this thing all the time in all kinds of... Right, let's take, for example, a popular soap opera. Okay, and you've got a popular character who is consistently smoking. And no one says a thing about it. And yet
But
kids
that-
are sat there. This is pre-Watershed. Kids could be sat there watching that and seeing that and going, oh,
by that same
That's just-
token, we're a popular show. The channel itself is a popular channel, and we're seeing vaping. Hopefully to the right demographic. You know, if you're under 18, you shouldn't be here, as it says on the little blurb above chat. But there are people who are going to ignore that. It's a really, really difficult area, but you know, an opinion has been expressed. So
yeah, but it's still that thing. It's we are appealing to a specific demographic, but
okay,
if you're looking at TV and stuff like that, then you've got kids watching it who can see lit tobacco, which is more harmful than e-cigs, which we're being shown constantly by all the studies that are being done. So why is that okay to be shown on TV to millions of people, whereas we are really, really small in comparison?
we're niche.
Yeah, exactly. So why is that okay, but this will not be?
Well, if we can field a few comments, one from Spiritus Vapes. We're not being persecuted. The government, Big P, Big T, is just protecting revenues. People get too caught up in feeling that they're being gone after personally every time something comes up. It's unconstructive. True that. But if we don't kick up a stink about what's right, then nothing will get done. Talking of colours, Jill CB, I've smoked coloured cigarettes with gold filters, Sir Brian Cocktail, were they worse than other cigarettes? To be fair, I've smoked them myself, and I think they probably are. And with that,
They're terrible.
with that, let's wrap this section up because it's just going to go on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Let's take some ads and we'll come back after this.
Healthy Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquids. Proud sponsors of vaping entertainment on Vapor Trails TV.
RY4 Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, once again we return. I've subsequently calmed down and had lots and lots of vaping, as you can see.
Yeah, it's a bit cloudy there, man.
Yeah. I kind of got a little bit upset by that video. Open a window, I think, and hopefully there are no chavs outside shouting at each other. So there we go.
Ah, chaps.
Gotta love them. Gotta love them. Shall we move onwards?
Yes.
Yes, I think we should.
Right, let's talk about intellectual property.
Yeah.
Now, this just sort of hit me as a bit of a flash in the pan, especially in sort of relation to Monday's show with Matt Garish and that. Intellectual property. Now, obviously, every single vendor has a name. Even us as presenters have nicknames. The Fury, Danfo Shizi, Mina. Sav, you know, you appear to have a Chihuahua.
Who?
The other Danny with the Chihuahua.
He just invades sometimes, and my apologies.
Yes. Come on,
Anyway,
man,
back to it.
Internet professional idiots. So, you know, we've got brands and stuff and intellectual property. Now, here's an interesting thing. I've been closely associated with a particular brand for quite some time. 2 years now, and we've got a good working relationship. And early this year, late last year, somebody else started trading underneath that name, and it all got a bit heated and everything came up. But the other person ended up trademarking, copyrighting that name, so the original person has had to rebrand. Now, where's this going, you might ask? Fair question. Is this new union between Viri and Aceta going to be able to provide a quick solution to such things? And will it be able to provide an area where they can go, right, this is your brand, nail it. This is how you do it, for the big guys and the small guys alike. Guys.
Good question. And that would be something that would be very interesting to hear from Viri and Aceta about. But I don't see how it can actually work, because you've got the small vendors who they sell their juices as, for example, Skittles or Opal Fruits or something like that.
I'm not talking about juice flavour names. I'm talking about brand names within our industry. For example, we've got Vape Sense, we've got SA, we've got Free to Vapor. These are just shops in my local area.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, interesting. Aceta is covering intellectual property in the Aceta seminars, according to a friend of the show, Ridian Man. That's good, because I'm sorry, I'm full of gas tonight. Funnily enough, but Tish, yeah, whatever. Guys. I hear the jokes, full of hot air.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Neither was I.
Dan, I've worked with you longer than anybody on this team. I know exactly what you're thinking, son. Cheeky. Right, but it is an important thing, because if you're going to establish yourself as a brand of, say, e-liquid in this particular case, then, you know, it is something that is going to become, provided we are allowed to trade as we are. I say we as the Royal We, referring to the industry. The brand is going to become important, very important, just like anything else. TV, clothes, shoes, cars, hell, home improvement stores. You know, a brand is a brand, and it is copyrighted. I couldn't set up a business selling gardening tools tomorrow and call it Home and Base, because I'm fairly certain Home Base might have a little something to say about that. So
yeah, it's interesting actually you say that, because comments come in from Spiritus Vapes. If you don't know basics like that, then you shouldn't try to run a business. Fair enough.
Bloody good comment, but my guy does know how to run a business. In fact, e-liquid is his second business. His actual business is installation of security. But then, two very wildly different industries. You know, X name industries, security industries, as opposed to X juice maker. Two very different things. I think we are going to see a rise of this now. Dave Dawn said it himself in terms of clones. Intellectual property. You know, you can get a Squire Stratocaster, and you can get a proper Fender Stratocaster, but the Squire would never, ever, ever dare to call itself a Fender, because it knows what it is. It is an industry, a brand in itself. Squire is a brand in itself. It's a good entry-level guitar manufacturer for those who want to go on to Fenders. Same as Epiphone with SG, Gibson. And I presume that would apply to every other industry in the world. You know, you've got the base level and then you've got the top level. But the common denominator is copyrighted trademarks and intellectual
Which
property.
is something that us in the vaping industry have never really been that good at.
Bang on the nail, mate. Bang on the nail. That is exactly the point. We in the vaping industry, but forgive my language, piss poor at it. Absolutely
Yes.
terrible at it.
Yes.
You know, this is me. I sell this. Blah blah blah. 3 weeks later, Bob Jones pops up with, "Hi, I'm blah blah blah. That's my name. I've copyrighted it. Ha! You've got to rebrand." And they've proved that they've copyrighted it in this particular example I'm using.
It's getting slightly better because there was that the Svomesto a little while back, wasn't it? That they decided to try and take some action. And there's a few others that have decided to try and protect themselves now, so it's getting better. But it's something.
It is getting better, yeah. And I've also noticed as well a certain Chinese website I've started putting on that it is an atomizer like
in the style of.
in the style of, yeah. So it is getting better, but where will it go with this? I mean, and how far can we take it, and how far can we take it in the time that we've got to take it? Because let's face it, what we've got now available in just about this time next year, we couldn't get it.
Well, provided things go south, which we, of course, as VaporTrails.tv are not going to allow to happen in terms of doing our best. Spiritus Vapes has made another very good comment. Excuse me, I am terribly sorry about all this. You can argue fair use, assuming you use the phrase and name first, but you're in trouble really. And that is exactly is what has happened with my bud. And he's had to go through a hell of a lot of rigmarole. I mean, look at the likes of Hannah with the court case in their favour.
Yep.
You know, you put the Hannah logo on a Hannah clone, yo man the poo poo. Yo man the poo poo. You're in a whole cradle of poop. Right? Provided they find out, of course. But that's the thing, that legislation. Hannah have gone to the extent where they've gone, right, this is my intellectual property. If you've got to make a clone of it, okay, that's cool, but you ain't putting my name on that device because that name is synonymous with a certain level of quality.
Yeah.
In hardware, though, there's only so far intellectual property rights and copyrights will go in China.
They
Hardware
don't care.
different. They don't give a damn.
You were careful with words there, weren't you?
I was very careful with
I
my...
was thinking, ladies and gentlemen, Danny did make a promise before the show that he was not going to swear, and to be fair, I think he deserves a gold star. But there you go.
Well.
I mean, that's a really good point you've raised there, Danny. China. Got it, guys. You know, are they really ultimately going to give a crap? However, intellectual property, very really interesting little thing that's going to come up, I think, and we're going to see the rise of, you know...
I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's, you know, the combination of the two, small businesses and large businesses coming together, all working together. It can only be for the benefit of the e-cig industry and
Which is
for us.
exactly what we've been harping on about since day one.
Exactly.
With
Yeah.
that, ladies and gentlemen, it is 2 minutes to the hour. So it's
I'll tell you what, Andy. Danny's going to wrap it up.
Hang on,
Am I?
very quickly, we're going to do this final comment. Copyright means nothing in China, but we can stop them being sold in the UK. Danny, wrap it up, brother.
Wrap
What's
it
the
up.
week's
How do I do a
vapor
wrap up?
What's
Well,
coming
you-
up next week?
I will
Go
hand
on,
over
man.
to Andy
On
to
the
do the
spot.
next bit. Because I do know, but I don't know it that well.
You should be prepared, man.
Oh,
Oh,
God. It only took me 3 weeks to get it right. But however, the Vaportainment tomorrow night, of course, is the ubiquitous Dave Dawn and Top Pocket Keith with the Haze Hour. No show Friday, Saturday, or Sunday at the present. However, we are back on Monday with us. Us. us three, hopefully, definitely us two, if we can get Mina out of a well, and Danny with his internet.
He's back now. It's fine.
You are looking good. You are looking good tonight.
I'm
always
on
look
the
good.
board
In
in
terms
12,
of-
so that's good.
True. Oh, we found something.
Oh, no,
which
yeah,
we
yeah,
will mention after the show. Gnome Rescue. Gnome Rescue. Anyway, so brings us back to Monday. Obviously, strips and tips. Tuesday is Marco and Gary. Wednesday is, of course, The Cave, rounding us back up to now. Of course, every night after VaporTrails.tv, there is ry4radio.com. Tonight it should be Darren. So hopefully we won't going to keep him too long before he has to go off and do his No, there's no Darren tonight. Okay, I've been reliably informed there is no Darren tonight. So randomly selected DJ. Friday, lock in with Tim and Russ. Saturday, the Saturday set, all Jason Weston. Sunday, it's me, Fiorio. Monday's Reggie. Tuesday, randomly selected DJ. Wednesday, Nicky's Juicy Bits, or as I like to say, Nicky's Juicy Bits! Yeah. Naked, most likely. And of course, Saturday nights from 9 PM until we can be bothered to carry on. MrDeskVapor.co.uk, Saturday night shenanigans. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been the Fury.
I've been Dan.
He's been Dan, and
I've been Davey.
this has been Drips and Tips. Take care of yourselves, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for watching.
Goodbye.
Cheers, guys.
And that's how it's done, Danny.
Thank you.